Hello everybody, this is my first tutorial for image processing using Matlab tool. I've did brain tumor detection using image thresholding, which is very basic image processing technique. I'm gonna run the code first to see the output of the code, which is here. The brain, the image itself. We detected the tumor alone, and then we detected the tumor in the original image itself. Let's go through the code and see how we did it, it's very simple, and we're gonna go through the code and see how we did it. First, we read the image. Of course, we converted to black and white, and we thresholded the image by 0.7, which is above 0.7 will be white, and less than 0.7 will be black. We will label each of the two areas, and I just want the area that has the tumor. I'm gonna run the code again, and look, I just want this area, the white area, which is the tumor. I also forgot to say that the brain solidity is less than the solidity of the tumor itself. So you can see here, like, there are grooves in the brain, but in the tumor you can see it as a block piece in the brain itself. So we want to detect only this part in the image, as in the third image here. So let's go through the code again. We will use region props to measure labels in image or areas in image. I'm gonna use the solidity and area in the image. Solidity, since the solidity of the tumor is much higher than the solidity of the brain itself. So we're gonna say, like, density is the stats dot solidity, and area stats dot area here in line 10. So we're gonna say high dense area be equal density greater than 0.5, which means that I want the area that has 50% solidity than the brain, which is a high value. But I'm using 50% to say, like, the tumor is a late stage, not in the early stage. You can decrease this value to 0.2, for example, to detect also small tumors. So the maximum area is the maximum of area of high dense area, the previous line. So the label of the tumor is find the area when area equal maximum area. Only when area equal maximum area. And I want the tumor to be a member of the label here in line 8, and the tumor label that I did in the previous line. And now we're going to use a morphological operation, which is dilation, a very basic morphological operation, just to make sure the tumor is filled with the same value, like white 1, because sometimes you can detect tumors and you can see, like, small pixels inside the white pixel group of pixels. So you just want to dilate, or you can just leave it as that. It's just a process to just make it accurate when doing the detection. Then we plot the brain, plot the tumor alone, and then we want to draw boundaries around the original image. So here is the command bw boundaries. I'm gonna draw the boundaries around the tumor, and I want no holes, and I'm showing the image that I read in the first line of the code here. Then these lines for the for loop are easy, and you can find it in the documentation of Matlab, and easy to understand as I think. So let's run the code again and see the results. Yes, here are the results. Let's try to change the image like this. Yes, it found the tumor. Here is another example. We can use image 12. I have a lot of images. Yes, here is the tumor. Yes, here is what I said. That's why I made the dilation. Here is a small 2 or 4 pixels as I think. Here, not completely dilated, but it's much better than not dilating it. And the detected tumor, I will be putting everything on my page in GitHub, and I will put it in the description below. You can check it and download the standalone files. So now I'm gonna show you how to do GUI. Here is my GUI that I did, but let's go through it. Let's type guide in the command window, and select blank GUI, and I want to have one axis for the image I read first, and for the detected tumor in the end. That's it. That's what I want. And I need 2 push buttons for loading the image, and another one for detecting tumor. And let's change the tags of the push buttons, but first I want to, if you run, let's run first. If you run this, yeah, save it like as untitled. If you run it, you'll get this push button 1, push button 2, and everything like this. But what I don't want is that these axes, the X and Y axis, and the values under it. I don't need them. What to do is just go to double click or right click on and choose property inspector, and go to Xstick here and delete everything. Okay, Xstick, and before going further, I want to X color, I want to change it to white, and I will show you why. Okay, cancel. And similarly for the Y tick, delete everything. Okay, and the Y color also. Okay. You can leave DZ because we are only reading two-dimensional image. Okay. Now let's run this again. Here you can see that this line is removed and the values on the line is also removed. You can do the same for the other plot figure. I want to change the tag for the first one. Where tag here, not push button 1. I want to name it load underscore image. Okay. And the other one, I'm gonna say like detect. Okay. What we also need to do is I'm gonna show you what I did in here. I did that. I made brain tumor detector text. It's a static text. I'm gonna load the image. It brings me a window to choose any image I want. Let's choose this one. Here is the tumor, and look here. Here are some white regions in the image, but what I did is the solidity. If you remember the solidity I said early in this video, the solidity of this area is much higher than this and this one. So let's detect the tumor. Yeah, it gives me a boundary around it. Yeah. What we also need to do is add a static text here and change the string brain tumor detection. Okay. And run this again. It will be saved automatically. Now let's see. Here the push button 2 is changed now to detect, and the first one is for load image. I'm gonna show you my code, and here is my code that I did here in the test.m. It's the whole code. And what we need to do first is the load image. What to do is I'm gonna say global IM to make it global in the whole code. Because if you declare that IM is only here, if you declare anything that's called IM here, it will be something different, not the same. But I want it to be the same. We'll use imGetFile to select the image that we want to use. We're gonna have a path and a user cancel. If the user cancel, I want to show a message box saying sprintf invalid selection error and the logo is worn. We can say error as well, and I will show you what does both of them do. Here, run, gonna load image and press cancel. Here is the logo of error and it says invalid selection. I'll say okay. Let's change it to be worn as it was. Here load image again and cancel. Here the war sign. You can choose your own logo or icon. Now what we're gonna do is read the path of the image, convert it to double, and have another, like it's a backup image, nothing else. I haven't used it, but it's just a backup. If I want to use it in something else, I'm gonna use IM2 in order not to overwrite something else. And it handles the axis 1 to make it appear in here. And show it. The title, just to make it appear like it's nicer. You can leave it as it is. I made here double quotes because if you make only one, it will do like this. So you have to put two. And if I run the code, you will see that here, patience, it's only one single quote, not two. That's right. Here is the tumor as well. Let's close this. And the code I discussed earlier in this video is here as it is. About is here is about me, the author of this code. My name is Osama Muhammad Abbas. My email is here. My ID for my school is this. And this, by the way, is the icon of help. It's also built in the Matlab. I didn't have to make myself. Okay, so how to do this about drop down menu? You will go to this untitled fig, select menu editor, new, click new menu, and the label should be about, and the tag also about, to make it easier to recognize it in the code because it's a big code. Okay, and I want a sub window, so I need to put new menu item. Let's click it, and the label should be author, as I did. You can put anything else, and the tag author. Remember, you are not allowed to use capital letters in the tag. The label is just a name. The tag is in the code, and the code doesn't handle tags in capital. I tried it, it gave me error. Some people told me it didn't give them errors, so I prefer to make it all lowercase. Click OK. Run. It will save it automatically. Here is the author window, so I need to put a message box, and I want to make lines in it. So if you just use the command print, if you use \n, it won't make a new line. So you need to use printf, and you're gonna write what you want, like name Osama, my name, \n, class, for example, 2, and you don't have to choose like an icon for it like I did here. I did like in the author and the help icon. It's okay. It's okay to use whatever you want. I'll come back here. In the author, let's put also author, and that's enough. Let's run and click here. Author. It's my name is name and class. Okay, so now it's the end of all what I did. Yes, I forgot to say that you can make it as a standalone application, but you should do something like mbuild setup command. It will tell you that it's compiled in C language. If you want in C++ or Fortran, you can use. I prefer C language. And you will also need to write deploy tool, and the compiler you need to use is application compiler. Yeah, here is the name of the application. This is the name of my school, my email, and my name. You can type whatever application name you want. You can change the icon. You can select another icon you want to use. Use borders for having borders. Use mask for have rounded borders. Okay, save and use. You can also change the splash screen and choose whatever image you want. You have to add main files. The main file is test. I'm gonna select test, and it automatically recognize that the figure I'm using is the untitled figure. I don't know wait. Like in the end, okay, everything will be attached in the below description. So in the end, you should click package, and that will run. Yeah, and it will take some time. I'm gonna say cancel because I don't want to compile this code. I'm gonna say cancel. Okay, and exit this, and this is the end of my code and the tutorial. If you need anything, you can leave a comment below. Please feel free to subscribe and ask anything you want. Alright, see you in another tutorial.